Welcome back to Hot Takes. It's me, Colonel Mustard, and Patrick Van Strap-on, who's about to f your opinions into oblivion.
In the mouth.
Let's jump right in. This is intense, isn't it? Yeah, weren't expecting that, were you? First question's from Xavi Davis. He's not even heard it yet. Ronaldo doesn't deserve to even be in the three-man shortlist for the Ballon d'Or. It's not a question, it's a statement. It's a strong statement. What do you think of Javier's statement? He's called Davis, it's probably Xavier.
No one should be given an award who names their child after themselves. Jose Mourinho, have all his awards taken away. His kid's called Jose. Pavel Nedved won the Ballon d'Or, has a kid called Pavel. I don't care. It's the Ballon d'Or, mate. Who gives a shit? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's only, half as relevant as it used to be now, isn't it, with FIFA's The Best. Who thought of that name, by the way? Toilet, The Best. FIFA : The Best. I don't have the best colon at all.
I've definitely seen colon the best.
I farted earlier and it smelt like bin juice.
Oh my God.
Second question's from Joel Wilding. He said Harry
Wilding.
Kane is totally going to thump Ronaldo and Messi in goals this year in the World Cup put together. Joel, get beyond, what's it called? The big wall of ice. The ice wall. Jon Snow should not have let you through. You're mad.
Yep.
So what was the actual question? Harry Kane is going to score more than Ronaldo and Messi put together. Well, that's
at the World Cup,
because Harry Kane is actually less prolific for England than Danny Welbeck. I think he's only got 13 goals for England so far. Hopefully this goes nothing like Euro 2016, Pato, where the highlight of his tournament was that free kick.
Oh, that was wild.
With Titanic music in the background. Brilliant digital content. What do you think?
No, this is stupid. You're a moron. And also, I don't get why you said he will totally do this. Off.
I mean, Harry Kane only got 5 goals in qualifiers. Messi got 7. I think he only played about 7 games, and Ronaldo got 15. So not a great start for Joel's rationale.
Argentina do have a tough group though, and so arguably do Portugal. So you could see his point there, like Harry Kane can rack up some goals against Panama and Tunisia. So maybe we're the dicks.
Next question comes from Mike Lamartina, and he's asked, Marco Reus will carry Germany to a World Cup win with a golden boot performance, not golden ball for best player, which still would have been a silly shout, but a better shout, but golden ball. This is a guy who's only scored 9 goals for his country, Pato, ever. And you need to score at least 6, I reckon, to secure das Boot. So what do you make of this flaming hot gob?
It's not that hot. It's possible, right? It's not like truly insane. It's probably not going to happen, but that doesn't mean that it's like bananas.
In pajamas.
I would love it if this happened. Like, he missed out on the last World Cup. Marco Reus pretty deserves a medal.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I kind of want Germany not to win it just because it's so stupid that they haven't taken Leroy Sané. Like, that is mental.
Yeah, Julian Brandt though, better defender apparently.
Is he? How high do you reckon you can get your foot? I'm wearing jeans, so it's maybe not the best.
God,
that was pretty good. I didn't say I was going to do this.
Go on.
It's fun to watch.
In your desert boots.
This leg kind of hurts, so.
Oof. That was higher than I expected from you.
I'm in quite a lot of pain, to be honest with you.
Normally at this point we'd split up and take, a few questions each, but
we will never do that.
I'm not feeling that.
Yes.
Ride or die,
Carry on, come
bitches.
On. You'll never
Next
split
question.
us up. We're like Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah, I'm Michelle.
No, you're not. How dare you? You.
Next one comes from @Dembele Edition, Jack, and he said, now this is a multifaceted, triple tiered layered of hot dog. And he said Paulo Dibala is incredibly overrated.
Ooh.
Never gonna finish in the top 3 for the Ballon d'Or.
Ooh.
He's currently on the same level as the apparently overrated but much younger Dele Alli. You might as well kick off. Why ruin a winning formula?
I don't get what Paulo Dibala is meant to do to prove that he's good. I think he is good.
Yeah.
He's won a Champions League semi-final on his own. He's good at football.
24 goals last season, 3 Serie A titles already, 3 Italian Cups.
How many people by his
One
age
Super Cup.
had led a top league in goals and in assists? That's quite remarkable that he's done that in separate seasons. He's a pretty good player. He's probably the closest you get to Messi among the younger generation.
Ooh.
Neymar aside.
Yeah, and his output, I think, will increase when he eventually is pushed further forward into a number 9 position. Although I do like him in number 10. He's been a hell of a creator this season, hasn't he? I think he lays on at least 2.5 chances per game for his teammates. And, couple that with a bloody healthy amount of goals. He certainly, picked up the slack for Higuain, who only got 16 this season. So don't underestimate Juve's dominance. It's very hard to constantly recreate yourself, to evolve, to maintain such imperious form, and he's been a very important part of that. 52 goals in 98. So,
Right.
I mean, maybe I agree with the Ballon d'Or thing.
Nah, he'll come in the top 3 one year.
But he's already 24.
But if he went to a Barcelona, Real Madrid, and it depends what happens with Messi and Ronaldo. Those guys are going to retire or drop off. Once Ronaldo's gone, it's going to be like Neymar's going to be there.
Yeah.
And then there will be a space. And you'd have thought Dybala will get there 1 year.
Definitely top 10. Potentially top
not
5.
top 10
Top
now?
3 might be a bit of a struggle. Riyad Mahrez was number 6 at one point, right?
That's hilarious.
Penultimate hot take comes from Mikey at the Jazzman. Best handle of the day so far, and probably the most sensible opinion thus far, Pato. Christian Eriksen for Spurs is the best attacking midfielder in the Premier League. Now, in 171 appearances, he has recorded 41 goals and 48 assists, which isn't bad, is it? Pretty good. It definitely puts him, that sort of output, in the top 3, but he's also competing with KDB, David Silva, potentially Mesut Ozil as well, who creates 3.5 chances per night, which is pretty unrivaled. What do you make of this? Again.
I think he's probably the best all-rounder now De Bruyne has dropped back. I mean, David Silva is doing so many other things, he's dropping back into midfield and knitting things together. Ozil's an amazing passing midfielder. He's clearly the best passing, attacking midfielder in the Premier League and probably in the world, but he doesn't have the all-round game Eriksen has. He can beat a man for pace, score goals himself as well. And it's incredibly two-footed.
Yeah, his defensive contribution is actually pretty solid as well.
It's gone up this season.
I remember, looking at the tail end of the season at his stats, and he'd actually put in 60 more tackles than any other AMC.
Woof. He's a big guy as well. He's a big physical presence. He's 6 foot tall. You don't really think it until you see him just breeze past a defensive midfielder. He's a big guy. It's weird to me he doesn't get the credit he deserves. Last season when everyone was going on about Coutinho going to Barcelona, I honestly thought they should have spent the money on Eriksen. I genuinely believe Eriksen's a better player than Coutinho.
That is the hot take.
It's a correct take.
Yes! Although I think Coutinho is a better player. Who do you think is a better player? Put it in the poll just above. Last one comes from Alfie at Alf_Stev01, and he said Welbeck is England's best striker.
Correct. Done. See you next week. Thanks for coming along to Hot Takes.
Well, is that happening? Is that for reals?
Why has he said this?
Because I think he's got 16 goals for England, which is the most in the current crop of players.
All right.
I actually think that's more than Vardy, Rashford and Sterling put together, which is embarrassing for England. Ooh. Hopefully that will change this tournament.
Danny Welbeck's 27. He's been playing in the national team for ages, whereas Vardy, Rashford and Sterling haven't. I think there is a defence to be made of Danny Welbeck, which he does play well for England, and he also will defend from the front. If you're say winning a game and you want a guy to come on and just press people, he will do that. I don't know, and often the most talented player isn't necessarily the most effective. When you look at the France team in 1998, they still had Givash and Djorkaeff and stuff, and those guys were not exactly world beaters, but they did a job. Yeah, and one thing you can say of Danny Welbeck is he's technically doing the job of professional footballer.
He's been consistently picked by the last 4 managers when he's been fit. So, yes, his attitude and his work rate, clearly fantastic. And he does turn it on for England. Do you remember that flick against Sweden? Ooh. Flick! Ooh. Lovely. Andy Carroll scored a towering header that game as well.
Full Joe Tomlinson.
I know. Oh,
Whippage?
Where's his Ritalin? I need some Ritalin. But you know what? I only want good things for Danny Welbeck. He seems like a lovely bloke, was in decent form at the tail end of last season, clocked up 10 goals, I think, in 43 appearances for Arsenal, which was not bad, considering I think he only scored about 2 for the first 6 months.
Yeah, his knees haven't worked for a while.
Let's hope he carries that flaming hot form into the international scheme.
Imagine if Danny Welbeck won the Golden Boot at the World Cup. That'll be quality.
So that was Hot Takes for this week, guys. Pat your own straw on what else is on elsewhere or here, everywhere.
Every week you ask me this, still don't know. Stat Wars, the champions?
Yep.
That's probably happening. World Cup previews, go back and check those out. They will be good. Continental Club, 90+1, has a World Cup special, courtesy of your boy Kieran.
Kieran's new comment show, which we've moved over to Eurofootball Daily. We've bought him. The transfer went through. Arguably, probably the best transfer
injury
of the season thus far. Made good use of the early window. Eurofootball Daily, great signing. So watch that. Bye.
Bye.